Zion National Park in Utah attracts around 5 million visitors a year, the third most popular national park in America. Zion is fantastic, but with all those visitors, many attractions, including canyons, are restricted to permits and even lotteries to control the numbers to protect and preserve nature and the experience. The permit system is a necessity. Just outside the national park boundary, that line drawn on a paper map in Washington, the landscape and terrain is almost the same, with various good quality canyons on public land outside of the Zion permit system. One canyon is Rock Canyon, flowing into the East Virgin River. It's not visited as often as you'd think. The 1 hour of sand four-wheel driving deters many, including me, for many years. However, for those not afraid of a long hike, you can approach from the north, which is a friendlier drive for the rental car. I've parked maybe 3 miles along BLM Road 70. Drive as far as your nerves allow, especially with a rental car. Been walking for about an hour and a half on ATV tracks. I'm on my final track. I've got about a mile to the Virgin River cliffs. The ATV tracks get to just above the Pattison Canyon, the barracks. Lots of footprints, so I think people come down here to have a look at the petroglyphs, which are just around the corner. Just up the Virgin River, 100 yards or so, petroglyphs. Very nice. The actual Slot Canyon section of Rock Canyon is short. It's right up at the head of the canyon, not much more than 200 yards long. Nice campsite here at the junction, looking up Rock Canyon, and then the normal exit, which I'm going to have to use to approach the canyon, goes up this little rock slab here, up the ridge a bit into a drainage, and follow that up to another ATV track. I'm about 2.5 hours from my car, made it to the normal parking area, so I'm going to wander down this trail to the top of Rock Canyon. A short sandy trail leads to a lovely expanse of slick rock, across which is the head of the canyon. Well, that was very quick. It was only 5 or 6 minutes from the parking area, and then very abruptly there's a slot. There's a bolt at the right there. There are 2 potholes that are filled with sand. I believe there's a bolt right at the end, so I can use less rope, so I'll climb across. Looking back up into the 2 potholes there, actually 2 bolts here. Looking down the first rappel, easy angled slab. About 50 feet. Looking back at the first rappel, then on. There's the bottom of rappel 1, and just round the corner, 2 bolts for rappel 2. Looks a low angle. Oh, yeah, right. Well, it's a bit of a V-shaped groove, so it can be down climbed. Down climbing 30 meters always sounds ridiculously dangerous and severe, but you just get your foot in the crack and you just walk down. And then wash down into the pool. I've found a price ticket for a climbing harness and the instructions of how to put it on. Nice short corridor, 90-degree bend, very short drop, 2 bolts. That's the short drop. I actually just jumped it, as other people have, onto soft sand. Then looking down, the next rappel is straight away, just round the corner. Anchored off 2 bolts, 30 something metres, 100 odd feet. And then looking down the drop, lovely chamber, nice narrows, corridor, beautiful chamber. I just found a rappelling glove. It's got large written on it, maybe borrowed, I don't know, hired. There are lots of footprints in the canyon, so the previous few groups have chosen to ignore the trash. This chamber and corridor is majestic, timeless, beautiful. Words simply don't do it justice. Pretty canyon gorge. 3 days of rain, and then it was dry yesterday. Sand is still wet, damp, so it's hard underfoot, easy walking. That was about 8 minutes of walking for me. Canyon's quite wide here. You can certainly get out on the right. Looks like a drop. There's a sling at the right, bolts. Drops down to a little alcove, 25 to 30 feet. There's the last little drop. And then sand walking down to the Virgin River. It's so moist and humid down here, so bizarre to be in the dry desert and have a babbling brook and humidity. And the trail brings us back down to the junction with the east fork of the Virgin River. Petroglyphs are just 100 yards maybe up the Virgin River. There are cow prints around, so I'm going to filter the water. Then on the slick rock on the walk out, there's a Spanish sword. I was about 6.5 hours total, car to car, of which 4.5 hours was the hike in and out from the north, 2 hours on the Rock Canyon loop. Rock Canyon is a short, fun canyon, suitable for beginners with straightforward rappel starts. It's a lengthy drive or approach hike, but certainly worth the effort to visit.